forgotten realms of time, hidden truths beneath history. There are stories buried beneath the dust of ages, whispers carried by the wind, echoes from civilizations that time tried to erase. History, as we know it, is only a shadow, a version written by those who survived or those who wanted to be remembered. But what if history itself is incomplete? What if beneath our cities, beneath our oceans, beneath our minds, lies another world, older, wiser, and far beyond our understanding? Tonight, we open that gate. Welcome to the forgotten realms of time, hidden truths beneath history. Every sound you hear, every silence you feel, carries the pulse of something ancient. Civilizations before man. We have always believed that human civilization began 10,000 years ago. But what if it didn't? What if there were civilizations long before us, greater in wisdom, richer in knowledge, and wiped from memory by forces we cannot imagine? Across the world, monuments whisper this truth. Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, Puma Punku in Bolivia, Nan Madol in the Pacific, the Great Pyramids of Giza, and the carvings of Gobustan in Azerbaijan. All built with a precision so advanced, even modern science struggles to explain. Stones that weigh hundreds of tons, carved with microscopic accuracy, aligned perfectly to constellations in the sky. Who were their builders? Where did they learn such skill? And why did they vanish without a trace? Göbekli Tepe, 12,000 years old, older than writing, older than the wheel, older than agriculture itself. Yet someone, or something, built it with intention, to teach, or perhaps to leave a message. Could they have known something about time, something we have long forgotten? Teachers from the stars. Ancient legends speak with one voice, across continents, across time. The Mayans, the Egyptians, the Sumerians, the Hindus, the Incas, all tell stories of beings who descended from the sky. They called them the gods, the watchers, the teachers. These entities brought knowledge, mathematics, writing, astronomy, and the secrets of the universe. Civilization didn't rise from ignorance, it was awakened. Thoth of Egypt, Enki of Sumer, Kukulkan of the Maya, Vishvakarma of India. Different names, same essence, messengers from the heavens. But who or what were they really? Were they gods? Aliens from the stars? Or the last survivors of a forgotten age? Beings from an earlier Earth, returning to guide their distant descendants? And if they once walked among us, where are they now? Maybe they never left. The missing pages of history. History as we are taught explains only 5,000 years of human story. But our planet is 4.5 billion years old. So, what happened in between? Continents have drifted, oceans have risen, and entire civilizations have drowned beneath the waves. Atlantis, Lemuria, Mu, dismissed as myth. But if they were only myths, why do cultures separated by oceans share the same tale? Ancient maps, like the Piri Reis map, show Antarctica without ice. The question is not how, but who drew it. The patterns repeat across time. Civilizations rise, achieve impossible wonders, and vanish, leaving behind silent monuments, as if trying to warn us of something. Period. Maybe the myths were never myths at all. Maybe they were memories, fragments of truth preserved in story form, so that one day When we are ready, we might remember who we were, period. And perhaps that day is now, period. The lost technologies. There are stones that hum, walls that align perfectly with magnetic fields, and temples that vibrate at the frequency of the human brain. Puma Punku's granite blocks, each cut with laser precision, their angle sharper than modern machine tools could achieve. The Great Pyramid of Giza, positioned exactly at the center of Earth's landmass, its chambers generating measurable electromagnetic energy. How did they do it? Who taught them to harness energy, light, and sound in ways we barely understand today? Ancient Sumerian tablets describe weapons of the gods, artifacts that split atoms and glowed like miniature suns. Indian Vedic texts speak of vimanas, flying machines powered by mercury and sound waves. To the ancients, these were divine gifts. To modern science, they're anomalies. But to those who seek the truth, they are the fingerprints of a lost age. Maybe they weren't miracles at all. Maybe they were the remnants of an older technology, one so advanced we mistook it for magic. And if these powers once existed, what if they could exist again? Cities beneath the sand. Beneath the endless sands of the Sahara lies silence, but not emptiness. Satellites have detected strange geometric formations, circles, walls, and paths that stretch for miles beneath the dunes. One of them, known as the Eye of the Sahara, or the Richat structure, is said by some to be the very heart of lost Atlantis. Its perfect concentric rings mirror the descriptions written by Plato himself. Coincidence or hidden memory? NASA imagery shows symmetry that nature rarely creates on its own. And beyond Africa, deep in the Amazon rainforest, hundreds of circular city patterns have been uncovered beneath the trees, covered for millennia by the hands of time. Who built them? Why were they buried? And why does every discovery push the beginning of civilization further back in time? Maybe we're not discovering the past. Maybe we're rediscovering it. For every ruin unearthed, there is another still sleeping beneath the ice of Antarctica, the deserts of Arabia, and perhaps even beneath our own cities. The Earth remembers. It keeps its secrets until we're ready to see. Those who wrote history and those who hid it. History is written by the victors, but sometimes the victors rewrite it. For centuries, empires have burned libraries, silenced voices, and erased records of the past. But truth cannot be destroyed, only hidden. During the Middle Ages, thousands of ancient manuscripts vanished. The Library of Alexandria burned. The temples of knowledge in Mesopotamia and Egypt were stripped bare, and the surviving scrolls found their way into secret archives, some say deep within the vaults of the Vatican. Whispers tell of documents so old, they describe civilizations that existed before the flood, before humanity as we know it. Why hide them? Because truth changes everything. If humanity learned that it has risen and fallen many times before, then power, religion, and history itself would lose their grip. To control the present, you must control the past. To control the past, you must bury it. And that is what was done. The records sealed, the knowledge suppressed, the story rewritten. But knowledge has a way of finding its way back. It calls to those who listen. And perhaps that's why you're hearing this now. the gates of time, and the energy points. There are places on Earth where time stands still, where compasses spin without direction, where clocks fail to count the seconds, and where silence feels alive. The Bermuda Triangle, the pyramids of Mexico, the icy corridors of Antarctica, the sacred peaks of Tibet. Each of these locations shares something unseen, a distortion in Earth's magnetic field, a ripple in the flow of time. Could these be gateways, portals between realms, built or left behind by those who came before us? Ancient texts speak of the gates of the gods, doorways that shimmered with light, that allowed travelers to move between stars. At first glance, myth. But when we look deeper, we find structures, megalithic, magnetic, aligned with the constellations and the solstices, as though built to synchronize with the heartbeat of the cosmos itself. Were they spiritual temples or ancient machines? Perhaps both. Because those who understood energy, sound, and vibration knew that everything, time, matter, memory, is connected. And when you change the frequency, you open the gate. The message of the ancient sages, across the sands of Egypt, the mountains of Tibet, and the temples of the Maya, one message repeats. All civilizations rise, fall, and rise again. This is not prophecy, it is memory. For the ancients understood the rhythm of creation, the eternal pulse of rise and renewal. The priests of Thoth, the lamas of Tibet, the keepers of the Mayan calendar, all knew that humanity moves in cycles, that what we call the end is only the beginning. Perhaps we are now entering that cycle once more, the dawn of remembering. Knowledge is resurfacing. Hidden truths are being revealed. And humanity begins to ask, not what should I believe, but what do I feel to be true? For truth is not written in stone, it is written in the soul. The sages left clues, not commandments. They whispered to time itself. When the world forgets, the stars will remind. And now we are listening again. The origin of man. They say humanity began in chaos. But what if it began in remembrance? Long before written history, before kings and empires, before the stars were named, there was a time when man remembered the light. Ancient tablets describe beings who descended from the heavens, not gods, not aliens, but teachers, carriers of knowledge, guardians of energy. They came not to rule, but to awaken. They whispered the laws of harmony, the patterns of sacred geometry, and the rhythm that binds soul to cosmos. But as centuries turned to millennia, the light grew dim. The memory of our true origin was buried beneath time, beneath temples and tombs, beneath fear and forgetfulness. And so, history began again, not as truth, but as a rewritten dream. Yet within us, the ancient spark still burns. Every heartbeat is a code, every breath a message from the stars, calling us home. The eternal cycle and the awakening. All things return. The rise, the fall, the silence, then the awakening. Civilizations fade, but consciousness endures. It flows through us like a river that never dries, carrying fragments of forgotten worlds, the echoes of Atlantis, Lemuria, Mu, and the unnamed lands before them. The ancients called this the Great Cycle of Remembering. Every 26,000 years the wheel turns, and humanity remembers who it truly is. Perhaps now, we stand once more at that turning point. Break. Technology rises, yet spirit stirs. The stars align as they did thousands of years ago. The message returns. P. You are not the children of dust. You are the memory of the universe itself. Break. In the silence between worlds, we hear it. A voice not from the sky, but from within. P. Unquote. Awaken, traveler of time. You have walked through ages and shadows, forgotten and reborn countless times. Remember what you are made of: starlight, sound, and eternity. And so, the forgotten realms of time are not somewhere else. They are within us, hidden beneath history, waiting to be remembered. The whisper of tomorrow. As the final echo fades, a question remains suspended in the cosmos. If we once knew the truth of who we are, will we remember again? The gates are opening, the stars are aligning, and the past is calling us home. The end. The Forgotten Realms of Time, Hidden Truths Beneath History. Signed, Legends of Time Studios.